Hello and very warm welcome to this special podcast called Digital in India podcast, where we host senior industry leader, government official, and we try to understand from them as to what they are doing in terms of utilizing technology. And today I'm joined by Chief Technology Officer of Pearson, Mr. Dev Preet. He's somebody who has over 100 patents in his name. And he has spent a lot of time in the fintech finance space, has been part of Deloitte, UBS, and his entire family is somewhere in the education sector, and he is now back to the education. So we are going to spend some time with him. Mr. Dev, thank you so much for taking out time for this podcast. Let me begin by asking you, you are someone who has spent a lot of time in technology space. You are part of a lot of different forum, even you are part of World Economic Forum today. And most of the people in your family are from education background. Either they are teacher or they are doing something in education field. So how it's almost like coming back to the family business, joining the Pearson. How has been your journey so far?
It's been great, and thank you for having me on this episode. Yeah, my original intent was a career in teaching and research. I have a master's in education and fell backwards into a almost 3-decade career in financial services. So it is wonderful to be back in the field of education and getting to apply all of my technology experience to help us change the world of teaching and learning.
Right, absolutely. You were appointed as the CTO way back in July 2nd, I believe. And then in April this year, the role has been expanded and a lot of other thing has been given to you, especially on the departure of the CIOs. So now your role is expanded and possibly you're driving the entire digital transformation agenda at the Pearson. So what is so unique in this new opportunity that you have? You could share.
My role did expand.
Mm,
So now I'm partnering with every part of Pearson to rethink how our technology operating model needs to evolve, particularly in the light of
mhm.
how dramatic AI
Right.
will be in terms of the future of teaching and learning. So I'm very proud to work with each of our business unit presidents and their
Mm.
technology teams, and to bring it all together into a single technology operating model.
Right. So if you could actually tell us from our reader, if I have to understand the Pearson, let's say in a very easy go-to term, what are the business option that is available and what are your focus if you could actually bifurcate those for our readers?
Pearson does 3 things.
Right.
We create and curate content, so we
Hmm.
have this amazing network and history of working with authors in every domain. So we
Hmm.
create and curate content. We distribute that content both physically and digitally,
Hmm.
obviously more and more through digital experiences, through
Right.
courseware, either self-directed or in classroom or in
Hmm.
enterprise contexts. And the third thing we do, which is the biggest part of our business, is we help people prove what they know,
Right.
prove their skills. So
Right.
there are assessments business. And so content, distribution,
Hmm.
proof, is our 3 businesses. We do that across K through 12 business
Hmm.
globally. We do higher education, and then enterprise as the really encompassing the lifelong learning.
Right. I was going through the numbers from 2005 to 2024 in terms of the revenue numbers. And what I saw that 2005 to 2017, it was heavily dependent on publishing. And thereafter, we see a gradual pick in terms of the digital, possibly surpassing a lot of other areas. And in the pandemic, there was slightly dip, but things have started stabilizing to a certain level now. So let me ask you, as somebody who is from a technology background, and we are in the age of AI. I mean, a lot of conversation is happening around. Everybody is trying to engage with AI. There are different types of companies at different stages of AI. An organization like yours, which is more than 100 years old. Similarly, in India, we have banks which are 100-year-olds, the railways which are 100-year-olds, and they all have legacy IT architecture. I mean, they would have invested a lot of money into mainframe, COBOL, all those kind of things. And today, because of AI and some newer technology, you need microservice, you need Kubernetes, you need Docker. So how do you balance this modernization approach wherein you have a lot of infrastructure which might be legacy?
Pearson journey for the past number of years prior to mine joining had a
Mhm.
huge amount of attention paid to modernization and some wonderful progress made.
Hmm.
We have a ways to go
Right.
still, and so we do have essentially the duality
Right.
of modernizing off of Fortran on AS400 and
Right.
COBOL, and we still have some monolithic systems, and really focusing on the data foundation, while at the same time we're working on the most advanced AI
Right.
products and offerings, against three dimensions. So
Hmm.
we have AI product and market, and are getting wonderful feedback from our teachers and students
Hmm.
across all phases of life. We are doing AI for engineering, so we're changing the way that we actually build those products
Right.
by infusing AI into the
Hmm.
software development lifecycle, and we're also heavily invested in AI for operations, so changing the nature of how we actually work across our corporate functions and our business units. So
Right.
we're at the leading edge of applying AI to our business, while at the
Right.
same time, continuing to need to enable that by modernizing our modernizing our infrastructure, which, yes, we're a 181-year-old company, so,
Right.
there's always some legacy debt to work out of.
Do you also come across sometimes as a CTO, but the leadership team at times having a FOMO kind of effect, fear of missing out, especially with the new technology? I mean, a company which is slightly older, having a lot of legacy system, initially were more into publishing, and now the world is moving toward digital, and everybody is talking about AI and next generation technology. Have you ever come across any conversation where the leadership is like, "Oh my God, I do really do not want to miss this particular revolutionary bus." I mean, you have agriculture revolution, you have industrial revolution, and somehow it's a different level of technological revolution we are going through.
We're constantly focused on wanting to be at the leading edge of
Right.
how technology and AI is applied in the world of teaching and learning.
Mhm.
So we're focused on being that,
Mhm.
but of course, being focused on it with because it's moving so fast.
Right.
We're
Right.
always deeply attuned to
Mhm.
the tech innovations coming out of our hyperscaler partners, and we
Mhm.
just signed deals with Microsoft and
Right.
AWS and
Mhm.
ServiceNow and Salesforce, and we're very heavily partnered with the leading technology platform
Right.
providers, and then constantly focused on how do we stay at the forefront. So yes,
Right.
it is a constant
Right.
focus, and honestly, it's one of the strengths of our team here in India
Mhm.
is this is one of our innovation lighthouses,
Right.
and so very proud to be of the team that's here that's
Mhm.
helping us maintain that focus and that energy and effort.
Right. In overall scheme of things, in terms of the technology deployment, right now you have a lot of focus on modernization in terms of using the AI. At what stage the Pearson is in terms of the real use case deployment, or maybe a trajectory down the line, let's say in a 2 year, we'll be able to do it 70%, 80%, 100%. At what level things are? Because when I talk to the banks here, they say, oh, AI is fine, but real deployment on actual level where a machine is taking a risk call is not there at times.
So we're leading the way, I think, in a
Mm.
lot of regards. So because we have AI product that's been in market now for more than 18 months with teachers and students,
Right.
helping teachers remove
Right.
administrative tasks, and
Mm.
some of the things that allow them to change their focus point to be with the learners, which is
Right.
great.
Mm.
But then the AI study tools we have with learners, we're getting incredible feedback that the AI enabled learner,
Mhm.
when the AI is based upon the pedagogy, the
Right.
real learning
Mm.
science which
Mm.
we bring to bear. So it's not just using ChatGPT to
Right.
get questions answered, but
Yes.
actually embedding AI into the experience of teaching and learning is providing dramatic results. And
Right.
and and so we've now have millions and millions of data points from learners using our tools in
Right.
market. And for us, it's all about being that trusted provider
Right.
of trusted content
Mhm.
guided by learning science, really proving that we're helping students engage.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you
Mm.
can't learn, and learning
Right.
is making the brain work, right? You need
Absolutely.
that brain plasticity to engage with the content, and
Right.
we're finding that the AI-based study tools are a
Mm.
wonderful way to get that engagement, when built right. And so
Right.
that's our differentiation. So we're leading the way in
Mm.
terms of we have
Mm.
actual product in market. I know
Right.
some of my old, I spent, like, as you said, I spent most of the past 3 decades in financial services, and we're moving faster than
Right.
some of those, some of my old clients and companies are.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned about the experience, and what we noticed during the pandemic that absolutely, the companies were able to go online. You had, collaboration platform which help you like anything. But people did realize the empathy part at times was missing, and that was one of the biggest challenge. And even in the online learning, what we have realized that despite the immersive experience of digital platform, there are a lot needs to be done in terms of as to how we make the platform more empathetic. And as a technologist, how do you balance bringing best of the quality of technology and ensuring that the technology inbuilt itself have cybersecurity, for example, has the empathy part inbuilt into the system?
It's so important, and at the end of the day, our belief is that the powerful use of AI
Hmm,
and actually more and more a range of technologies to be able to drive that actual engagement and that actual learning
hmm,
in a holistic approach to
correct.
what happens outside of a classroom, what
Hmm,
happens inside of a classroom, the interaction model. We're taking a very comprehensive approach to what we're building and how it gets applied, and I
correct.
think that's incredibly important. And so, yes, if you're only in a self-directed mode, offline, just interacting,
Hmm,
it's not it's much more powerful if you are able to have that,
hmm, hmm,
but then giving the feedback to a professor to
right.
basically say, "Look, the classroom is absorbed this
Yeah.
content, that the students' AI agents are informing in collectively the teacher's AI agent to say, actually, you know, this is what the students have
Right.
engaged with. This
Hmm,
is what they've absorbed. So now here's what you can focus on in the classroom conversation and get the human to human interaction in addition to that
right.
self-directed learning. The power of having hyper personalized learning through AI
Right.
to know where I am in
Hmm,
my learning journey versus where
hmm,
you may be in yours, and to be able
right.
to have that content personalized to you, shared in ways that you'll absorb differently than I'll absorb,
Hmm, hmm,
to then bring us along that learning journey at our own pace,
right.
pushing us individually,
Hmm, hmm,
to then give the feedback to then the in classroom experience or the interpersonal experience. It's that combination that's
right.
really powerful, and so that our focus is on that holistic approach to learning.
Absolutely. I was going through one of your interview and very eloquently you said learn to earn. I mean, throughout the life, you have to keep on learning because there are new things coming, especially for the corporate world. If you could share more on that, what is that concept and what are those learning that an organization must continue? Let's say if the CHRO's mandate is to ensure that they have the right sets, kind of people in organization, what are some of the fundamental things they should be focusing on these days?
Yeah, it's one of the things I'm most impressed with actually about the country of India is
Mm,
the recognition of the dramatic reskilling that has to happen. And we're
mm,
seeing that globally. We
right.
put out a report in January called Lost in Transition
Mhm.
that speaks to the global skills gap
Right.
that exists, that the students coming through the traditional learning pathways in the old model, which was a
Correct.
slingshot model. It
Mhm.
was I'm going to learn everything I need to learn in K through 12 and higher education, and then I'm ready for a
Right.
career. That's not the case,
Absolutely.
and it's more and more not the case as the average lifespan of a skill is dramatically reducing. The need to upskill with AI is dramatically increasing, and so as we look ahead, and we have a number of reports out there that anyone can go
Mm,
read, um, with that growth and that skills gap, the demand for lifelong learning,
mm,
the learning to learn, and then the
mm,
learning to earn component is being crucial for anyone's career. The skills that I have today,
mhm.
even in my role today, the
Right.
skills that I have right now, I know I'm going to need a whole new set in
Mm,
4 or 5 years. And so, how do I, even at my stage in my career, how do I continuously focus on that learning? And so that's what we're all about: is
right.
how do we provide the tools, the platforms, the mental models, the support structures to
Mhm.
support learning at every stage of life? And so that addressing the skills gaps as a government or an industry are looking at their workforce and
Mhm.
trying to figure out how do they prepare for the future, how do they
Right.
prepare for today's
Yeah.
skills gap, but let alone where they're headed. We're here to be those companies and those governments partners, to identify the skills gap, build specific platforms and content and capability to be able to deliver against it, but
Right.
then also be there for the learner, be there
Absolutely.
for their individual journey to help them engage, get that brain plasticity
Right.
going, really learning how to learn and then proving it through things like our Credly Skills Wallet and holding the credentials that you can prove what you
Right.
know.
In terms of the revenue I was going through, the India happens to be one of the top three market for you, I believe. Now, since you are a CTO, so from a technology perspective, what kind of contribution India's research and development team is making in the new innovation and new journey that you have taken in your overall scheme of things? If you could share something on that.
Like I said, our team here is really an innovation lighthouse for us.
Hmm.
It is a place where more and more the ideas,
Hmm.
the depth, the execution capabilities, all are here. And
Hmm.
so our ability to really focus on, really the team here to be able to deliver global
Hmm.
innovation is a huge part of our strategy, and it's a huge part of the reason why we think India is so special.
Right. Any spatial thing that the Indian team might have contributed to any of your activity, if you would like
Oh,
to add?
implicitly part of all of them. So
Right.
we operate on a global basis.
Hmm.
So all of the innovation you're seeing, parts of it can be traced back to the team here.
Right.
It's a wonderful epicenter of innovative developing and then developer, engineer, and product focused
Right.
team.
Right. We do see a lot of conversation happening around, as we have spoken so far on AI, but there are a lot of things happening on spatial computing. There are a lot of things happening of quantum computing.
Yep.
And there are organizations which has already started conversation as to how you are going to keep your encryption secure, how it is going to be the quantum proof. I mean, the blockchain folks are also talking about ensuring that all the blocks are quantum proof. As somebody who's a technologist, what is your assessment? What direction we are? What are some of the technology that really excites you?
Yeah, you're triggering me. We take this from this is like a whole nother podcast, but so I'll hit on a couple of pieces. So, um, on spatial computing. So
Right.
the immersive space has been developing for a long time,
Hmm.
and my personal view is just like AI. AI feels like it came on suddenly. Of course, it's
Right.
been 30 years or 40. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
been long in its
Hmm.
coming. The same will happen with immersive. So the technology that will enable us to experience content in three dimensions
Hmm.
is getting better and better and better. Like the ability
Right.
for me to have something that I wear all day, every day,
Hmm.
like I do with these glasses, and to be
Right.
able to have
Hmm.
immersive experiences. There's most of what we teach and learn about
Hmm.
in two dimensions is about the three-dimensional world.
Right.
So it's silly for us to not have the digital world be
Right.
three-dimensional and immersive and take advantage of all of our human senses.
Hmm.
And so that's a big focus of ours. It's coming,
Hmm.
and obviously it's all been underpinned by AI. So all of the computer vision is machine learning based. Is all the ability to create immersive content is all tightly integrated. It's all AI enabled,
Right.
and so these things are not separate technologies. They're different facets of
Hmm.
similar related technologies. On the quantum side, obviously with NIST having approved
Hmm.
the quantum
Right.
proof quantum focused algorithms last fall, there's a huge focus obviously to implement quantum safe cryptography
Right.
for all of our platforms.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm less concerned about the new
Hmm.
because we're building the new with quantum safe encryption,
Right.
from the start.
Hmm.
I'm a little concerned about the old. It's like
Right.
that, yeah. So finding all of the current encryption and knowing how to, knowing where it is,
Right.
how to quickly modernize it,
Hmm.
replace it. That is a journey that globally across every industry is going to be a huge focus over the next few years because I do personally believe we're only a few years away from the quantum
Right.
supremacy moment, and so
Absolutely.
it's a
Absolutely.
lot of work to be done on
Yeah.
the old.
Hmm.
The new, I'm less worried about because it'll just be baked in.
Yeah. One
So
last question before I let you go. We do see here in India as well as in different parts of the world, there is a lot of exuberance around the traditional company utilizing the agility and scalability of their startup. So you as an old company have trust, a kind of trust, but most of these young companies will have the scalability, agility, and they do things quite faster. What is your assessment as a technologist in terms of getting the service of a startup or relying certain newer innovation of a startup? Have you ever done it? How has been your experience?
So I've been very focused on the startup community for much of my career, and then I bring that into Pearson. Pearson has part of my team is Pearson Ventures,
Right.
where we are constantly scanning for
Hmm.
interesting startups that we want to develop partnerships with, and we make minority investments in.
Mhm.
So we have a wonderful portfolio of startups that our ventures team has found for us over the years, and we develop the relationships with. So that linkage and relationship to the
Correct.
startup community is super important. And then I have an ecosystems team
Hmm.
that is entirely focused on building those relationships and applying
Hmm.
partnership capabilities with our business units, with startups. And so we are heavily focused on the startup community because it's a wonderful place, obviously, to find new ideas and new innovation and inspiration. And so I personally, I love the model of taking a 181-year-old company and having the dedicated focus of working in the startup community to take advantage of the best of both worlds.
Right.
Because the depth of understanding that we have
Mhm.
of the education, the learning market is invaluable to the
Absolutely.
startup because it's actually quite hard and nuanced and complicated. And so having our breadth and depth of knowledge of the education industry super valuable to a startup.
Right.
And then obviously our being able to partner on the new innovation side of things is wonderful for us. And
Right.
so bringing these two pieces together we see as the winning combination.
Thank you so much for your time. I think you
No,
spoke on
thank you.
everything quite well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.